What is up, everyone? We are back, episode 11 of the Out of the Park Baseball 23 series with the Giants here in 2025. And the season is just about wrapping up. We are 76 and 78. And we sit 3.5 games out of the playoffs with, how many is that to go? 10 games to go? Just kidding. 8 games to go. Let's check how we got here, which I don't really understand what happened, but somehow we're out of the playoffs at the moment, and it's looking like it may stay that way. So let's check out. Yeah, so I figured this was going to be the case. Our Pythagorean win-loss, which just goes off run differential, is 84 and 70, which would put us in second place in the wild card. However, our actual record is a staggering 8 games below that. I'm not sure why that's the case. I could say our bullpen has definitely not been a strength for us down the stretch here. Duvall was pulled out of the closer's role. He really struggled, and we have not been able to find any kind of closer. I finally moved Roberts into that role because he's probably been our second best reliever. I want Handa staying in this stopper role. But yeah, I mean, it's just been a disaster. Rodon's regressed down the stretch. Webb's been inconsistent and hurt. Oops. And yeah, his ratings have really dropped off at this point. Very unlikely I re-sign him. But I mean, he's still 10-2 somehow, so he's not really been the problem. Bieber's been pretty solid. Not really the $20 million we paid him, but whatever. Scooball's been solid. He was much better than this. I think he had a couple blow up games here, but overall he's been really good. And then Flaherty's been solid as well. We haven't had like the ace this year. It's been Rodon in the past, but yeah, he's taken a big step back this season. And I hope that's not a sign of things to come because we still got him for a couple more years, most likely. Actually, he could opt out after this season. I'm not sure what his thoughts on that are, but yeah, and the bullpen's just been, it's been a hot mess. Guys coming up and guys going down. No one able to hold down the closer role. Santos has been good, but he's stumbled down the stretch here. But the lineup, we've been able to channel some magic in this lineup somehow. Just check this out. Malcolm Nunez, who just recently called up due to an injury to he was a 40-man or whatever. Roster is expanded, so he was called up. Spencer Horwitz has been a real revelation here. He's played in about 30 games, 130 plate appearances. He's been really, really good. He's batting 5th against righties, and then we have like a full platoon going on here. I'll get to that. Suarez has definitely been our best hitter this year. He's been awesome after stepping into that full-time role. Just check out how Matos is doing with the Tigers. Yeah, he's having a good season. Again, I had a feeling he was going to be good when he went over there. We just didn't have a spot for him, but I think holding on to Suarez has worked out well for us so far. Burleson's been on fire the second half. I think he had a WRC plus under 100 going into the after the trade deadline. In the last month and a half, he's brought that up to 130, and he's been awesome. I think a lot of that has to do with I'm not playing him. Well, he's been good against lefties too, but I'm not playing him against lefties right now. We have a full platoon, so I'll just get to that right now. So against righties, we're starting Horwitz, Crawford, and Burleson, all in the lineup there. Against righties, none of those guys are playing. We have Canna DHing, who has kind of slipped in his play a little bit down the stretch. He's actually splitting time with Nunez now against lefties, but he's still been good. Then we have Schmidt, who was really not playing well. He was benched. You could see he's much better against lefties. But yeah, he's playing against the lefties at this point. And then Kyle Farmer also stepping in, who's been raking against lefties all season. So Crawford takes a seat. But Crawford has been incredible. He was even better than this for a little bit. But yeah, 140 WRC plus, 138 WRC plus, I should say. Yeah, I didn't really expect a ton out of him, but he's been really good. Again, only playing against righties, but yeah, he's been tearing it up. A couple other guys. We can go to Correa's been much, much better. He's going to have a 7-WAR season, which is ridiculous. Actually, by far his best season, with by far his worst hitting season. So, yeah, he's been as advertised. Wish his bat was a little better, but whatever. Went through these guys. Luciano's been a little rough. Not sure what I'm going to do with him. His defense has declined as well. But it could just be a bad season. Who knows? His BABIP's way down after last year, but he's been fine. Grisham's been okay. 89 WRC plus, 2.5 win season. Looks like he'll be at that. Win over Schmidt. He's been disappointing. Ortega he was sent down and then called up when rosters expanded. And he's been okay in his rookie season, getting his first taste. He's playing. Oh, I thought he was playing every second. Oops. I actually want him playing quite a bit against lefties, so play him every third. And then Heliot Ramos got hurt for a little bit, but he is back now. I didn't go over him. 120 WRC plus. Pretty good season. And then the catchers have been a bit disappointing, but I mean, Sean Murphy's still going to have 2 WAR. Looks like his contact went back up, so it's good. But yeah, he's been a bit better recently. And then Hedges just out there for the defense, but positive WAR with a 42 WRC plus, so not bad. So I just want to go over the end of the season here. Let's see if we can make the playoffs. So we're in Seattle, and J.P. Crawford's hurt. That's awesome. He's out for 2 weeks, so we will go to the minors and see who we can call up. I might just have all guys on deck here. I mean, let's see. I need scope, AAA. So his RJ Mayer fella, 80 range. He made it all the way up to AAA, and he's been raking up there. He's certainly an option. Tyler Wade. Maybe we do, or I could call up Gabriel Gonzalez finally. But we needed more of an infielder, I think. Castillo, maybe. Yeah, man, this is tough. Screw it. We're going to call up RJ Mayer. Yeah, let's do it. Considering we can kind of just plug in Ortega here, he'll be fine. And then we can keep the same thing with Farmer and Ortega there. Let's do that. And then I want Mayer being our defensive replacement for, let's try to put Mayer in center, and we'll put Grisham in right as our defensive subs at the end of games. Just so we have there's some better defense. I mean, Ramos is fine, but yeah, he's never really been a great defender. And Suarez has been okay, so whatever. It's kind of you know what? Let's put Grisham in left. I'd rather have, just kidding. I'd rather have Suarez is bat. Okay, this is getting dragged out a bit. Let's get back to the game. So we win 7-4 in Seattle. Looks like Crawford had 3 hits before he exited. Correa a couple of hits. Burleson drove in a couple of runs, and Kyle Farmer. What did he do? He looks like he hit a 3-run shot in the 8th inning. That's awesome. That's why he's on the squad. So we win 3-2. Keeping our season alive here. Horowitz got a hit. There's a couple guys with a bunch, just a couple hits. Looks like Kyle Farmer had another hit. And then Bieber had an excellent start. Handed to Roberts. So an off day and a huge series against the Dodgers. We're 3 games out with, 6 to go? So we have the Dodgers and then Cincinnati. Don't think Cincinnati's much any good. The Dodgers are good, so. We have Scooball in game 1. See what happens here. Against Dustin May, we lose 9-3. Scooball gets roughed up. Not much on offense. Flaherty's still out another day. Rodon's good to go, so let's just flip these two. So Rodon against Kim in game 2 of the series. And we win 8-6. Correa, 3 ribbies, 3 hits. Love to see that. Suarez, a couple hits. Burleson, 3 hits. And then a bunch of guys with 1 hit. Luciano looks like he had 2 RBIs. Looks like he had a home run as well. And Mayer had his first career hit. Good for him. Love to see that. Rodon was okay. Not great. Looks like he's walked a ton of guys this season. Wow. Then Gudino to Roberts. Okay. So we go for the series win here. Man, this is congested. Holy crap. And we lose 6-2. Oops. Tough game to swallow. Yeah, nothing you could do there. Hando's been our best reliever. Kind of gave that one up. All right, so last series of the season. We got to have all hands on deck here. So we're going Shane Bieber in game 1. Try to keep our season alive. I don't even know if we can. I guess we'd have to win out and have the Cubs lose out. So we win, but looks like we were eliminated. The Cubs won, and thus our season is over. And looks like a lot of guys had a good game, so that sucks. Horowitz, wow, he's earned a spot on the team next year for sure. So yeah, that's how the season ends, I guess. Anticlimactically, we could still go for a over 500 record here. Win 8-5. Yeah, I mean, it's just depressing at this point. All right, and Scooball to end the season. And he takes us out, well, it's a 17-inning win. That's one way to drag out the season after it's already over. Looks like Luciano finished strong. It's cool. And, yeah, Scooball, of course, he got hurt, but just back spasms. And, wow, bullpen was dominant. That's not how the second half of the season went. But, anyway, that is the end of the regular season here. And we will do the off-season in this episode coming up next. We'll be back. All right, everyone. So we're back and making our first trade, first day of the off-season. And I want to first say that I'll probably be doing through the 2026 season. I'm recording this on the 17th, so I think I'm going to keep this going through this drop of 24, OOTP 24, just because I want to wait until some stuff's patched and whatever, make sure it's a playable version before I start a new game. But I plan on finishing at least 2026, hopefully 2027 as well. Then we'll see what happens from there. So all of that in mind, I'm pulling off my first trade of the offseason. You know, we're going for it here. Our core is getting older. I recently offered an extension to Carlos Rodon, which you can see here, 5 years, $120 million. In a normal save, I would never do this, but We only got a couple years left. I mean, time's running out on the year, so he'll be 33 when the year starts. This is going to look ugly at the end, but I don't know if I'm going to be playing at the end, so it's a little cheesy, but yeah. And then his Nolan Arenado trade, they pretty much will take anyone for him. They just want me to eat all the contracts, so 2025 is over, so he'll be making 27 next year and 15 the year after. Still a productive hitter. He had one really bad year, but I'm just picturing him and Correa in the infield. Be crazy. So maybe a little like whatever. I don't think it's cheesy at all, but and yeah, I mean I can't even let them. They won't even take any more of the contract, or if they offer like a really good player. So yeah. I actually want to try to dump because I have a lot of good relievers coming up. And Duvall's been around. He's starting to make actual money now. I believe he wants $1.4 million in arbitration. I think I can get a guy for half that price who will produce probably the same or better than him. So he's been a reliable arm over the years, but I think it's about time to move on from him. So, and it saves us a little bit of money, not really too much, but. And yeah, we have a couple other guys for arbitration. A lot of free agents, a lot of key players. Kyle Farmer, Mark Canha, Austin Hedges. I don't think I'm bringing back any of these guys besides Rodon if he re-signs. And then, yeah, all these guys will be back besides Duvall, who we will deal here. And I think that's pretty much, salary-wise, it's pretty top-loaded. We got these guys making a lot of money. Then, like, Sean Murphy's making a good amount, which, in hindsight, not the best trade. But, I mean, he still put up 1.6 WAR with a miserable hitting season. So, even if he's, like, an 80 WRC plus guy, that's a 3-win player, most likely. So, I mean, we do have a lot of money coming off the books. Yeah, it's just going to be the guys are going to start getting more expensive. But, I mean, whatever. We have a ton of money allocated to this stuff that we could always drop down. Because after this and the Rodon contract, it drops our available money down to $5 million. So a lot of money being allocated to these guys, but I'm going to complete that trade. And boom, there we go. Our fans love that we got Nolan Arenado, so that's awesome. So yeah, I've gone over the plan in my head. I don't know how this is going to work, but I'm slotting Arenado in at third, and then Luciano is going to become like my super utility guy. So his infield range is pretty diminished, but he can still play second base in a pinch. So my plan for him is he's going to back up all around the infield, corner outfield. Primarily going to be playing, so Ortega is going to be here as well. We're going to need a backup catcher, but he'll probably play every fourth at first, maybe every like seventh at third, maybe every seventh and left, and like every 10th and right, or maybe every 10th in the corners. I don't know. We'll see what happens with the rest of the team, but he'll be my super utility guy to start the year. Because, I mean, he has some versatility. He's a pretty good defensive outfielder and such. So, yeah, he'll probably bat around fifth or so. We'll see what happens with that. But, yeah, that's our first big trade. We still need a fifth starter. I don't know if I want to have Ryan Murphy running out there. We could try Handa in the rotation. But I really like him in this role out of the pen. Very valuable. Kyle Harrison's also down here. I'm not sure what he's going to turn into, but his ratings did recover a bit. Bryce Hubbard, who was a fourth-round pick back in 2023. Not a bad arm, but more of like, a swingman type. We got this Swagasti guy who is down in AAA. Had a really good season there as their starting catcher. He's been in AAA. He'll probably be our backup catcher. I mean, he's not really there defensively, but I just want to have this guy just sitting in my minor leagues, just rotting away. So, also, it looks like our international free agent signing this year is ranked number 71 in baseball, so that's cool to see. Also, checking out our top prospects, number 5 prospect, Arturo Mendoza, had a pretty good season in single A. Only 150 at-bats. or plate appearances. Struck out a whopping 45% of the time, only walked 4%. He'll probably start the year in A-ball again. And then Andres Magalon hit 9 bombs down in rookie ball, but overall struggled quite a bit, but he's only 18. Just going to look at the minor leagues a little bit more. Luis Castillo, or his first appearance in professional ball last year, walked a lot of guys, but strikeout rate strong. And yeah, he'll stay down there for another year, but overall, excited with that the process he's made. Gabriel Gonzalez made it to AAA last year. Only going to be 22 when the year starts, and held his own in AAA, so he'll be looking at an appearance this season. Kyson Witherspoon, 21-year-old in A-ball, had a pretty solid season. Held his own, I should say. I mean, about league average, ERA-wise, FIP-wise, about the same. But strong strikeout rates and walk rates. Home runs were up, but he's pretty far along. He can make an appearance either in the bullpen or rotation sometime. Gilbert Saunders, first-round pick this year, was fine in rookie ball on his first appearance. He'll probably start the year in A-ball. Espinal struggled again in rookie ball. He's 20 now. I'm actually going to put him at my highest rookie ball team. We'll see how he does. He's ranked 154 now. Matheson made the major league team last year. At the end of the season, pitched about an inning and 2/3. Owen Murphy, our first pick in this save, I guess. 30th overall. He was in A-ball. Not a horrible season. Held his own. Walking too many guys, but I mean, not exactly the guy we projected, but that usually happens with these high school arms. Patrick Forbes was the 41st overall pick for us this year. Pretty good down in rookie ball on a couple different levels. He'll be up in A-ball to start the year, I believe. Ryan Fry, another guy, pretty solid in A-ball. His first taste of action. David Hogg, who was a first-round pick in 2024. He was tearing up rookie ball, relatively. Called him up to A. Not too great, so he'll start the year there. And his ratings aren't great, so we'll see with him. Carlos Lopez, I'm very excited about. Low stuff, but high movement and control. He pitched 48 innings in AA and was pretty solid, so maybe he'll start the year in AAA. We'll have to see. And then Nate Savino, another guy I'm pretty excited about. Mostly as a bullpen arm, I'd say. Yeah, he could be a starter, but I don't know. We'll see with him. But yeah, he was good in AAA last year, which is why I'm excited for him. Where are we? We got Luis Meza, who we acquired in a trade with Toronto way back in the day for Austin Slater. And yeah, he's actually progressed pretty well throughout the minors. Hit okay in single A. Up in high A, he didn't do too well, but only 27 plate appearances. Kyle Harrison, we kind of talked about. He had a pretty good season in AAA last year, so he'll probably be up and down, I'd imagine. This guy, he was actually in my minor league system for a while. Esmerlin Vinicio. Wow, it's a name. Yeah, he had a really good year in high A, so we'll see what he can bring in the future. Jack Brannigan, we got off waivers. He's not actually at my 40-man. Looks like he hit very, very well in AA and pitched very well in AA, so potential two-way player here, although I like his pitching better than his hitting, quite frankly. And then Bryce Hubbard, who we kind of talked about. So that's a long-winded rundown of the minor league system heading into the offseason. And I didn't really realize we led the league in batter war last year. Pitching was always, it's always been good. So, all right. Goals for the offseason. The lineup's pretty set. I don't think there's much we can really do, even if we wanted to. So our bench is going to be a backup catcher, Ortega, Luciano, and probably Mayer, Horwitz, some kind of combination of those guys. And then the pitching we'll have to sort out, but I'm confident we have enough arms. So I don't know what the free agent market looks like, but we'll get to that point, and then we'll meet back here. Okay, so a couple things to go over. We are at November 8th. All the awards have been announced at this point. First of all, we have Carlos Rodon sign that 5-year, $120 million extension. A lot of money, but whatever. Sean Murphy won a Gold Glove at catcher. Also, current third baseman of the Giants, Nolan Arenado, won. I personally think Carlos Correa was robbed, of a Gold Glove. But yeah, he had a higher zone rating than Lindor, but whatever. I get it. New York bias. Okay, and then a couple of guys appeared here for reliever of the year. Ethan Roberts got a couple first place votes, actually, which is really cool. And then Rohan Handa also got a down the ballot vote. Silver Slugger, we actually had Alec Burleson, of all people, win a Silver Slugger, which after his mediocre 2024 kind of just boosted his numbers all across the board in his triple slash, and boom, he became a really good hitter. He kind of won an extension. I want to see a little bit more first out of him before I go and do that, but still pretty cool. For Rookie of the Year, Suarez finished a decided second place. Benny Montgomery, this fella, ridiculous player. Like a Giancarlo Stanton with good defense, essentially. Hit 43 bombs, struck out 34% of the time. Yikes, but 5.8 WAR. Suarez, definitely a really good year, though, so no denying that. And Handa actually got a vote as well for that. Obviously, we weren't Manager of the Year. Shane Bieber got a couple of votes for Cy Young, so did Handa. And this Brandon Boussier guy, absolute stud, like Juan Soto light, maybe even better. Playing for the Nationals, pretty cool. So yeah, he won MVP, and then Carlos Correa got some votes, deserving after he really bounced back hitting wise. Still wasn't great, but whatever. And then Burleson got some votes, and Suarez got some votes as well. So pretty cool. We will bounce into the free agency, I'm pretty sure, and then we'll be right back. We are back at the start of spring training here in 2026 with the Giants, and just going to recap the offseason. Not really too many major moves that we made besides the Arenado thing, but here, this kicked off the offseason, so we signed Drew Rasmussen to kind of be our fifth starter. I mean, the stamina is not crazy, but 4 pitches and a good ground baller. I'm trying to play into the ground ball tendencies just because we have great infield defense now, so may as well utilize that to its fullest. So Rasmussen will slot in as the 5th starter for now. Also signed Aaron Bummer to a 2-year deal. 32 years old, ground baller. Had a couple of really good seasons with Chicago prior, so he will actually be our closer, as you'll see. And then, yeah, nothing else really to report. We had a couple of minor league free agent signings, so yeah, there's really nothing else besides the Rodon extension. Free agency-wise, yeah, we didn't do much. Kind of just going to hope for internal options to come through. We signed some guys to minor league deals. Nick Prado, Kevin Kiermaier, Dalton Varsho was an interesting one. He was out there, so if he makes the team, he makes $1.5 million. There's a decent chance he makes it, but we'll see what happens there. He's been a league average hitter, but he can play a little catcher, which is cool. And yeah, those are pretty much the only big things we did leading up to this, but the Arenado thing was big. Also, I noticed, which sucks because we already traded for Arenado, but Luciano's defense went up. Like, this is a really good third base defender now, which is really cool. But he'll still be our utility guy. And yeah, this is what the spring training roster looks like. A lot of young guys, some veterans mixed in, but mostly young guys in the pitching. And then, yeah, some hitters. Artur Mendoza gets the call. This was an interesting. So this guy, Alessandro Ercolani, whatever. So he was ranked the number 54 prospect in baseball. Went up to the number 7 prospect before the end of the year. For some reason, became a minor league free agent. I don't know if Toronto. I think he was with Toronto. I don't know if they just forgot about him or whatever, but didn't sign him. So he was on the free agent market for about 2 weeks. We inked him to a deal. I mean, it's a little cheesy, and I'm kind of pissed that the Blue Jays screwed that up. But, I mean, if someone's going to pick him up, why not be us? So 4 really good pitches. The movement and control have a bit of ways to go. We signed him to this really weird contract. So he'll make $4 million if he makes the major league roster, but can opt for free agency if he doesn't make it by 30 days in the regular season. No, I mean, I signed a lot of these contracts, but never really for $4 million. And if he was to make it to our major league roster, he would lock in that $4 million salary and then auto-renew it at $4 million until he hits arbitration, which would be 3 or 4 years from now, which is I mean, it's not a big deal because we could always just DFA him. But, yeah, I mean, he has a decent chance to make the bullpen out it for us. We'll see how spring training plays out. But, yeah, that's pretty much the offseason. I'll probably go through spring training and then up to opening day for next episode. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're excited for the 2026 season. Out of the Park Baseball 24 drops in 4 days, so be ready for a video on that. But that's about it for this save. Thank you, or for this episode of this save. So thank you very much, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.